So today we are welcoming Francois Martelet, CEO of Oasmia. Welcome.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good afternoon to you.
Can you please start to elaborate a bit on some of the highlights from the past quarter or months?
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. So I will refer to our 4-pillar strategy. So the first one is the execution on Apealea. On that side, what has been achieved is that Eleva has nominated Inceptua as their partner for Europe for the commercialization of Apealea. That's one significant step forward. 2, we have provided clarity around the commercialization of Apealea in the US from a registration standpoint. That was the December the 3rd press release. 2, on the platform technology, we have initiated further steps in development, initial steps with XR18, sorry, that will be an upgraded version potentially of XR17. So that's another achievement. And then we have on the clinical side, which is my 3rd pillar, I mean, clearly, we have continued to work with the SAC group for the initiation of the phase 1b docetaxel micellar in prostate cancer. That's exactly on target, and I'm planning to release, hopefully quite soon, the design of the trial. And 4, we have worked on the licensing and M&A, but I think you have other questions related to that. So
that's for sure. So there are some investors that are a bit impatient, you could say, regarding the lack of news these days. Can you say something about that?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly understand that, and I am even more impatient than they are. Clearly, we have the luxury in our company at least to have several pillars in which we are working on. So we are not a one-trick pony like many other companies are. But at the same time, you need to remember that I joined the company almost a year ago. I had to right-size the company, really find the strategy, hire good people. So all of this takes some time, And then, yes, now is the time where we can execute. But at the same time, with regard to big news like licensing in or M&A, I have to say that we have been working extensively in Sweden and in the Nordic area to find the right targets that will complement us. I know that you have a further question on that, but this takes time. And what is important is not to have a news just like that because or acquire a company, a product X because of the purpose of it. We need this to have the right fit. It has the right strategy that we don't regret it, 2 years later. So I should be able to disclose the result of this work relatively soon. But I understand the frustration of our investors. I would like to thank them for their patience, for their trust in us. I used to say Roma has not been built in one day. You know that. So I would use this analogy for Oasmia as well. This is a new Oasmia. Huh? It's Oasmia 2.0. Huh? Nothing to do with the old one. Huh?
That's for sure. And I think that's fairly fair. And you were talking about it a little bit, but the M&A activity, can you describe the environment and how it's going and what type of company or compounds are you looking into?
Yes, I mean, since we are an oncology company, obviously we're looking at oncology only, okay? Then we are looking at compounds that we could develop further, but since we are not a research-based company by itself, I want to minimize the risk for the investors, for the company. So therefore, I will take compounds and I would license in compounds from phase 1 onwards. Okay, so then I can decrease the risk because they have already been validated, at least for the first part of the development. And then I can move them forward and develop them forward. So that's the goal. we would like to have a kind of a broad portfolio in oncology as well, not only small molecules. We would like to add, other compounds such as antibodies, and to be able to have a critical mass that is lacking now. One of the reasons why the news flow is not up to the expectations of our investors is because we are lacking this critical mass, and so we're working very hard on this. It will come. It will come.
And you're talking about a new API. Can you say something more about that? Or how much can you tell us?
API, it's important to develop the new technology platform as well to protect the IP. You know that in our business, if you don't have any proper IP, there is no business. Huh? So I need to make sure that the API that I can work with will allow us to be covered from an IP standpoint. So that's an important piece. Huh? I cannot disclose right now what we are precisely looking at. That's ongoing work that will be also done with a number of high-level academic institutions in Sweden, and I will certainly disclose that at the right time. But we are. This is an important work. I mean, I'm very excited about the concept of developing and improving our platform, XR17 becoming 18.
Okay. Lovely. And how's the process for the animal health portfolio moving? Yeah. Do you feel there is an interest, and can you just elaborate a bit on that?
Okay, so we started end of last year. Okay, so that firm has been hired. We have great interest. I can disclose that we have less than 10 companies interested in this portfolio, and they have started for some of them the due deal process, and this kind of thing takes 6 to 9 months. But we are confident that we will get there. Yeah.
And such a partnering, how can that look like?
Animal health is not our core business. Clearly, we are not. I don't have any particular expertise, nor my team, nor the board. So the best way would be, but again, we are at an initial stage. The best way would be to divest, but we are not excluding partnering in one way or in another.
That's fair. Let's move on. And can you give us an update regarding a potential platform partnering? How is that going? And as the same, is there any interest out there?
Yeah, there is interest. It is a bit slower compared to the animal health partnering process because, companies, when you talk to big companies, there are quite some bureaucracy involved. So, and we also had to work. Also, this work started late December. We also had to position better ourselves, to create a compelling story to push to potential partners. So that is done now. So now we are at a point where it's like a planet. You launch a planet and then you see what will happen. Or the ball, a football match. Launch a ball. But yeah, it's ongoing.
Yeah. Perfect. And lastly, what are the main drivers for 2021, and what are you looking forward?
Yeah, 2021 certainly some achievement with Eleva will be important to recognize, and I mean the US studies will be initiated. So that's an important point. And then the platform development, I hope I can share with you guys some our results of our platform development, XR18. For sure, the SAC study will be initiated, the docetaxel micellar study with our SAC group. and partnering, obviously, animal health, XR17, and above all, licensing in or M&A, above all. Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you for your time, Francois.
You're welcome, Jonathan. Always a pleasure to speak with you.
Pleasure.
Always.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Bye-bye now.
Bye.